Another beautiful morning on the Hexatrek, and it's time to do a little resupply and grab some snacks before getting back on the road. We just stopped quickly at the Carrefour in the morning and then kept on walking. Something about this part of the trail made me feel very self-reflective. Part of it was probably because of the solitude, part of it was probably the changing landscapes, the changing seasons, and probably something to do with the fact that I was past the halfway point and it started to feel like I was getting closer to the end than maybe I was ready for. So I was really just trying to soak in this experience, even though at the same time I was also feeling a little bit bored with the terrain and with everything that was going on trail. It's always such a funny position that the trail puts you in, to reflect on what's happening and what you want and what you're looking forward to, but also enjoy exactly where you are right now. It's a fun little lesson.
So, I've been doing these long days. I got no words while I'm walking. Okay. I'm feeling a little bit bored these last few days. It's been, this part is pretty. It's green and shady. And it's a lot less hot than it has been. It finally kind of cooled off. And we're up at 1,500 meters now, which helps. It's so humid, I'm walking through a cloud. But basically, I don't know, I think it's I'm past the halfway point. It's not super exciting hiking right now. And I'm feeling a little bit bored, which I think is to be expected. I'm just about to hit 1,700 kilometers. It's hot, I'm tired, and a little bit bored, but it's all part of the process.
I got to the top of that climb, and would you know it, I found a little cafe. And you know what cures boredom? Snacks. So I got myself a little ice cream and a tart.
Sometimes when I'm hiking, I feel like I'm just transported to another trail that I've done, which right now, I could very easily just be on the Colorado trail. Poof! There's barely any difference. And then while I'm walking, sometimes I just recognize the absolute absurdity of this entire trip. I just got on a plane with a backpack, showed up in a foreign country, and just decided to live there in a tent and do a bunch of walking. It's very weird. The whole thing is very silly. Well, at least they offered a little bit of assistance to get over this barbed wire fence.
Getting to do this part of the trail solo was such a unique gift. I think that boredom is where creativity lives. I think if we never allow ourselves to be bored, for our mind to get quiet, you never really get the chance to hear your creative inspiration come to you. So I think this part of the trail, doing it solo, I just really got inspired and was able to flex that creativity muscle and just kind of dig into my brain and find new fun things. I was talking about being bored, and the rest of the day seemed to fly by. So many flies. No, it really did. It was really beautiful, and it was pretty easy terrain, and the weather was actually really nice. And then I was gonna make my way to a campground, but then I stumbled upon this really beautiful campsite right next to the river, which had a perfectly sized swimming hole that I could go rinse off in because I've been so sweaty for 2 days. And then also do some of my laundry, well, like rinse it at least, you know, get some of the sweat out. And yeah, it's just perfect. It's such a beautiful spot. Got my laundry hanging over on that tree. The fire ring if I decided to get crazy, but I will not. And then right through there is the river with this like perfectly bathtub-sized swimming hole that I could dunk all the way into my neck, and the water's like the perfect temperature. It's my nightly ritual as exported from the PCT. My trail family and I used to make a big pot of hot chocolate at the end of like most nights, and we would each take one packet of whatever kind we chose from the store, put it in the big pot, and then usually like a big scoop of butter or like some coconut oil or something, just stir it all together and then ration it out into our pots. It was a really cute tradition. I really enjoyed that. So now I make it for myself. I'm trying not to use too much fuel because I think mine is low, and it's actually kind of hard to find in this section. Ooh. So I'm not heating up my water super hot today, just enough to make my couscous. I've been on the couscous train lately. It's 1 bag of spiced couscous, made for 2 people, of course. 1 can of tuna with either olive oil, or I think this one is like sunflower seed oil or something. I get the one with oil because it's extra calories and fat, obviously. Oh, gross. I'll scoop that out in a second. And then I add this little bit of tomato sauce, because it just makes it taste better, and adds, allegedly, some vegetables. And then I have goat cheese to put in here, but it's been so hot that I'm not sure how it is, so I will do the requisite smell test and then decide if it goes in or not. But that's pretty much it. That's dinner. Eventually that couscous like expands to fill the pot. But also I like my couscous a little bit watery, to be honest. It's easier to eat that way. It's less dry. Also, funny thing happened today. So in town, the water fountain that's listed was not running. It's dry. And there's a cemetery, which is always, you know, like pretty safe bet for water. But it was like up a bunch of stairs. I was like, man, I really don't want to do that. I bet you I can just find something on the way out of town. There was a gas station. We could probably have water at a gas station. I was wrong, and there was no water. But then there was this lady outside of her house, up the top of the hill, and she was just in her front garden, and she seemed friendly, and I was like, hey, would you mind filling my water bottle? She's like, oh, of course. Do you want to come in and use the bathroom? Whatever. Super lovely, very friendly. She filled up 2 of my water bottles, and I carried on my merry way, and maybe 12 or 13 kilometers later, there's a little restaurant at the top of a hill, and I stopped in because I was really bored, and I was like, oh, you know what fixes boredom? Snacks. Anyway, so I got myself a little coffee and a tart, which was delicious. But lo and behold, who was at the restaurant? This same lady that filled up my water bottles, and she came up to me. She was like, hey, you! And I was like, hey, you! Anyway, we chatted for a minute. She was like, oh, it's so nice to see you. That's so cool. Like, great job on your hike and whatever. And then we talked about the hike and blah, blah, blah. But what a funny coincidence. I climb all the way to the top of this mountain, and she's driven up there to do a little bit of a walk and have lunch at this cafe. There we were. Anyway, I just thought that was like a cute little moment. Yeah, it was nice. This was my perfect little swimming hole. It's like just deep enough to sit in, all the way up to your neck. So nice. Doesn't look very deep, but it's perfectly deep, like to go to your neck sitting for a little bit of a wash. That's it. It's all mine, the whole thing, for tonight. So I've recently gone back to hiking solo after hiking, I guess like a month with another Hexatrek named Denny. And it's so different. And not in the like hiking or the camping or really any of it. It's more just in the serendipitous moments that happen being a solo female traveler. It's so different. People interact with you in a completely different way when they see you're a solo woman, especially doing a backpacking trip. I don't know what it is specifically. I mean, a lot of the times it's curiosity, a lot of the times it's like, oh wow, you're so brave. A lot of the times I get like just sort of surprised that I'm by myself. And people are a lot nicer to me, or just more willing to help me when they see that I'm like a solo woman hiking and backpacking out here by myself. You know, I get more offers for rides or food or snacks or just to come sit and chat. I get a lot more questions about my story and what I'm doing. And it's been really interesting to see so clearly the juxtaposition between what it's like hiking with a guy, where people typically address him and ask him the questions about what's going on, like I'm on his trip somehow, where I feel like I have to make a point that like, no, we're both solo. We just happen to be on the same trail at the same time. And like I started this by myself, you know, to feel like validated or something, so that I'm not just like the tag along on some man's trip. I don't know. It's weird. But I like it. I like it a lot. I like the serendipity that comes with being a solo female traveler. Yeah, it's really wonderful. Oh, it's the first night in so long that it's actually cool enough to use my sleeping bag properly and not just sort of like spoon it. It's really nice. Our little campsite. It was lovely. Time to get back on the trail. Let's go. It's a beautiful morning already. Oh, I hate when it does that. God. And yeah, the campsite last night was so great. I will absolutely add it to the list of campsites that I've been collecting to put on my Patreon. So if you guys want to see the list of everywhere I've camped and some other info, you have to join my Patreon. Aha! Yeah, I'm posting it all over there, so you can find the link below. So many blackberries on the trail today, and they're actually ripe. Oh, so good. How you doing? Hello. Oh, a little scraggly kitty. Yeah.
pretty out here. And just these purple flowers everywhere, so you can just hear the bees, and it smells amazing. Everything is bright purple. It's so cool. This cabin is actually pretty nice. Check it out. Really cute. Oh yeah, clean. This one's nice. Wait, I think that's me. Why is this note here? I mean, I'm not, wait, what? I don't know, cause like Lauren Explores is my Instagram and my TikTok and my YouTube. I don't know. Maybe it's for me, maybe it's not, but either way, that's very cool. I picked up a banana while I was walking through the village this morning. So we're doing peanut butter and banana on tortillas today. And I'm gonna sit in this cabin because it's really cute. I was hoping maybe someone would have left gas here so I could make a coffee because I'm really low on gas and I can't seem to find any anywhere in this stretch, but I didn't see any, so oh well. Delicious. So gourmet, look at it go. I don't remember if I said this already, but I passed 1,700 kilometers early this morning, so that's pretty cool. That feels significant because, you know, having only like 1,300 kilometers left is starting to feel small, weirdly. I've already done it. Yeah, this cabin, not quite the same caliber. It'd be a bit of a terrifying place to sleep, honestly. Ooh, no thank you. I found out who left the note in the cabin. It's someone from Instagram. They were just saying like, have a good hike. Ah, so cute. So thank you for the little note of encouragement. That was very fun to find. So I just picked up a couple of things from the Carrefour. So some of them I'm gonna eat right now. I'm gonna go find somewhere to sit that's hopefully shaded. And then it's only 3 o'clock. I've already hiked like 28 kilometers, so I might do another 10 more and see how that goes. Definitely not the most glamorous camp spot, but like I couldn't find anywhere flat in the last like 7 kilometers, so this was as good as it got. And I'd already hiked, I think I did 40 kilometers today, or very close, so it was a long day and I'm done. And I wanted to be by the water so that I can rinse off and drink water. And this is the best possible option. So I found a spot that had no rocks, weirdly. So here I am. I could really get used to this whole taking a bath in a river every day. 2 days in a row? That's pretty nice. And it's pretty out here. And I'm the only one. Well, I'm making dinner, and I bought this at the store today because it looked good and I don't have to cook it. Then I realized it's ravioli with tofu, which is fine. I just assumed it had meat in it, but I think it's gonna be good. And then I just made a big hot chocolate because I started heating up water and then realized, oh yeah, no, I bought this food that doesn't need hot water, so there you go. But yeah, there's the river over there. It doesn't look very nice, but once you get to the water, it's pretty good. But I like this gorge wall. This is pretty. Tomorrow I'm gonna hike to the kayak place nice and early so I can just spend most of the day on the water. Yeah, so that's exciting.